There is a voice in your head talking to you right now. It narrates your day, judges your environment, and freezes you in perpetual wanting. We spend almost our entire lives completely identified with this restless internal monologue. As Sam Harris observes, this baseline is exhausting. We can spend hours suffering through a complete non-event, like getting anxious about a meeting 5 days away while we're simply making tea. But the mind sometimes goes quiet. You might be staring at a vast sunset or looking into a baby's eyes, and for a few seconds, that constant commentary simply stops. Eckhart Tolle defines these moments as spaciousness. It is a state of pure awareness that exists entirely independent of your active thoughts. Recognizing the difference between that noisy, anxious voice and the silent, observing awareness behind it marks the beginning of a spiritual awakening. Most of us brush off these quiet moments and return to the noise. The tension begins when you attempt to stay there and break the ego's spell for good. This shift relies on a structural rewiring of how you perceive your own mind. Mastering that transition involves navigating 5 distinct, measurable stages of psychological growth. It starts with phase 1, the call. External achievements like money or professional success lose their ability to generate happiness, leading to a profound, new sense of dissatisfaction. Your body's baseline begins to shift during this period. You might experience strange sleep patterns, sudden fatigue, or unexplainable bursts of energy. This discomfort leads into phase 2, the search. You begin looking for tools to separate who you are from the ego-driven habits you've acquired since birth. The core mechanic is learning to neutrally observe your thoughts. You practice watching a stressful idea arise without attaching your personal identity to it. Think of your awareness as a blank screen, and your thoughts as a chaotic movie. You begin to identify as the screen. Your nervous system often reacts physically as you decouple, occasionally causing minor shaking or sudden temperature shifts. Consistent practice of this neutral observation builds a psychological wedge. It creates a functional distance between the stream of thoughts and the awareness that perceives them. In phase 3, the ego fights back. It triggers repressed fears and anger, what Carl Jung called the shadow, pulling your attention back into the noise. This is where many stall by falling into spiritual bypass, using meditation to hide from their problems, or developing a superiority complex disguised as enlightenment. Progressing past this requires radical self-honesty and a willingness to take full responsibility for your own emotional reactions. This leads to phase 4, integration. You learn to hold the tension of opposing ideas and remain centered even when your daily life is chaotic. As a result, the mind becomes steadier. External emotional triggers gradually lose their power to dictate how you behave. Eventually, you reach phase 5, living from the self. Base survival instincts fade, and your decisions are guided by intuition and an innate state of wholeness. Moving through these stages changes you from a reactive captive of your mind into a conscious architect of your internal state. In this state, the need for external validation drops away. You no longer look to the world to confirm that you are okay. This inner completion changes your lifestyle. The drive for convenience and social competition is replaced by a focus on ethics and a sense of interconnectivity. Abraham Maslow described this as moving into being values. You naturally begin to prioritize wholeness, justice, and truth over material security. Maintaining this perspective is a daily practice of noticing the mind's noise and choosing to step back from it. This shift provides an unshakable foundation for handling your duties and relationships from a place of peace.